Hey everyone, and welcome to lesson 3 on dot plots. So here's an example of a dot plot. A dot plot uses dots to show our data. Okay, so looking at this one, it's number of brothers and sisters. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the number line, and each dot is going to represent a response. So 2 people said they had 0 brothers and sisters, 3 people said 1, 5 people said 2, 3 said 3, and 2 said 4. So this lets us visualize our data. Now creating a dot plot. If we have this data here, we have 3, 4, 3, 5, 7, some 4, 6, 3, and we want to show a dot plot. We need to create one. We start with a number line. On the number line, put your lowest number first. Okay? Since they're only going from 3 to 7, we have a small range, we can count by ones on the number line. We put our 4 here, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, you want to use as much as the number line as you can. You don't want them to be all squeezed on one side, and try and space them out as evenly as possible. Now what we do is every single time we have a piece of data, we need to plot it. All right, we have a 3, so we put a dot at 3. We have 4, put a dot at 4. We have another 3. We have 2 5s, a 7, 3, another 7, 4 4s, a 6, and then another 3. Okay, so as you can tell, looking at the dot plot, our data is a lot more organized than it is in this kind of raw data where all the numbers are spread out and we don't know how many of each there are. So using a dot plot can really help us with our data. Now, finding values from a dot plot. We have our measures of central tendency here, our mean, median, mode, and range. So looking at this, we have giraffe's heights. We have 2 for 14, 3 for 15, 2 for 16, none for 17, and 2 for 18. Even though there was no data at 17, it needs to be there. It has to be on the number line. Otherwise, it's not really showing us how far apart our data is. So finding the mean. Using the dot plot for the mean is just like how we do with regular data. Let's pull up the calculator. So finding the mean, we need to add 14. Oops, sorry, let's clear that out. We have 14 plus 14, because there's two 14s. We're going to have to add 15 3 times. So there's one 15, a second 15, a third 15, 16 twice, and 18 twice. We don't add a 17 because there is no 17 in our data. Okay, so our total here is 141. We have 141 is the total sum. Now to find the mean, we have to divide by how many dots there are because that's how much data we have. We have 2 points here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need to divide this 141 by 9. We get 15.6 repeating. That is going to be our mean. So we divided it by 9, and we got 15.6 repeating. Okay, so our average is 15.6 repeating, or 15 and 2/3 of a foot tall. Now the median. The median is still going to be that middle value, but I can't just look at the bottom number line here and cross out 14 with 18 and 15 with 17 and be left with 16. You have to use the data. So if we go to the dots, if I cross out a 14, I could cross out an 18. Cross out a 14, another 18. We have 15 with a 16, 15 with a 16, and our middle number is going to be that 15 right there. That is going to represent our median. And since we had 9 numbers, there's only going to be one median here. Now the mode. The mode is going to be very easy for a dot plot. Since it's the most often, it's going to be the one with the most amount of dots. If we look, there was only 2 for 14, 2 for 16, 2 for 18, but there were 3 for 15. So our mode here is also 15. Now the range. Our range is still the biggest value minus the smallest. but there has to be a dot there. Okay, our biggest dot, we have 18. 18 minus 14. So our range here is 4. Now, even if I decide to continue this dot plot over here, and I had 19, I put a 20 there, to find the range, I would not do 20 minus 14 because there's no data here. Right? We have to go from the largest number that there's an actual point and the smallest number that there's an actual point. All right, so that's how we're going to use dot plots. Hope this was helpful.